Grand Risings class. Assalamu alaikum, Jibepende. Shemhutepo Namaskaram. Islam. Peace and love. And Ashanti. So, Jumu'ah Mubarak and happy holiday to all of the creditors all around the world. Indeed. So, today I feel is a special day. And today we are going to go over some definitions. Some necessary definitions. Now, I know that they're small on the board. And you know what? For that purpose, let me No, you can't really see it. All right, well, so I want to read them to you. So we're going to talk about citizens, persons, private persons, rights, what it means, what is a state, and what is a nation, okay? So we're going to get into this here because there are a lot of people who say that they're nationals, but don't desire to be a part of the state, or they'll say that they're a nation, but that they're not they're not citizens. And so we're just going to go over these things so that we can have some clarity, right? And then for you all who are participating in this class and who will review it later, potentially on YouTube, you'll be able to make your own determination, right? Based on knowledge, and not based on what someone else said, or just simply said. So, give me a brief moment. When it comes, it'll come. Okay, and then we're going to, after we get done with these definitions, for those of you who do have study literature, we're going to open up our table as being set, and we're going to read from the Constitution for the United States of America, North Continent, okay? And we're going to see how these apply, okay? Because it's important to know, It is very important to know. All right. All definitions are taken from the Black's Law Dictionary, first edition. All right. All right. Have you mastered that? Whatever. All right. Welcome. All right. So there are a lot. There we go. That should do. There are a lot of brothers and sisters out here in America who are debating as to whether they are citizens or not. There are arguments, to the positive and to the negative for both sides. And so, again, this is for clarity, okay? And then you, the viewer, will be able to make your own discernment and determination as to whether you identify as any of these, some of these, or none of these at all. All right? All right. A citizen. I keep moving the camera. Give me one more moment to make some room. That's what the issue is. Make some room. All right. I hope your day is going well. I truly do. And I hope that it is successful. Absolutely. All right, that should do. I'm not going to go all in like that. So, for all the creditors, right? For all the Muslims, this is our happy holy day of rest because this is the end of the work week. This is the end of the cycle, and after today, we'll be able to be at ease, so to speak. Okay, a citizen. A citizen is a member of a free city or jural society possessing all the rights and privileges which can be enjoyed by any person under its constitution and government and subject to the corresponding duties. So a citizen is a subject, all right, meaning that it owes allegiance to its city or jural society. Now, persons. The next definition is persons. Persons are divided by law into natural and artificial. Natural persons are such as the God of nature formed us. Artificial persons are such as created and devised by human laws for the purpose of society and government, which are called corporations or bodies politic. So far, we have the word society and citizen and persons. Just something to pick up here. What is a private person? Because we just found out that there are two types of persons. And so we must also understand that there are public and private. What is a private person? A private person is an individual who is not incumbent in office. And so a public person would be an individual who is incumbent in office. Rights. What is a right? A right is a power, privilege, faculty, or demand inherent in one person and incident upon another person. I don't know why this looks so off, y'all. All right. Another. Okay, no, I'm bugging. All right, so another word for right would also be authority. Okay. So a right is an authority. There we go. Now, what is a state? A state is a body politic or society of men. So here we have society and we have body politic as a state. united for the purpose of promoting their mutual safety and advantage by the joint efforts of their combined strength. So that means everybody's together, right? Appreciate you, Amir. Salam. Happy holidays. Salam alaikum. Juma Mubarak. And finally, we have a nation. A nation is a people or aggregation of men existing in the form of an organized, jural society. So we have jural society. We have rights. We have society, government. Person. Body politic. All right. We see these words, jural society, rights, person, and body politic, basically juggled around. They're all within the scope of all of these words. So, a nation is a people. There we go. A nation is a people. We, the people of the United States. We, the people of the several states. But that's a nation, because a people. A nation is a people existing in the form of an organized jural society. So nation and state are hand in hand. Okay? You cannot be a national or a national and not be a part of a state. Okay? And you cannot be a nation or a national and not be a citizen. Because again, a nation is a people or aggregation of men existing in the form of an organized jural society. Well, a citizen is a member of a free city or jural society. Okay? Let that sink in for a minute, right? A nation is a people come together and organized as a jural society. A national citizen is a group of people or a jural society possessing all the rights and privileges which can be enjoyed by any person under his constitution and government, subject to the corresponding duties, and they are organized. This is national citizenship. Okay? National citizenship is also now, mind you, the state's not, how can I say this? I'll say it like that. The state is made up of the nation, of the people together. It's not a land on a piece of paper, right? It's not it's not a geographically drawn place. It is a concept. States are conditions of the mind, right? Your state of mind shared with another individual makes you both of the same State. Okay? State citizenship. And so, let me go a little deeper. Nationality. That quality or character which arises, I don't even know why I got this out, which arises from the fact of a person's belonging to a nation or state. Nationality, the concept of nationality deals with persons. It deals with persons. For all of you, I'm not a person and person this and the person that. Nationality deals with persons. The person is the legal identity. It's not the physical identity, it's the legal identity. Do you have a legal identity? Then you have a person. So nationality deals with nations or states. To be a national, you must be a citizen of a state. You must be. Otherwise, you're not a national. You could be likened unto a tribalism. You could be a part of a tribe, separate, independent, no no real treaties made with anybody. You're just by yourself. You and your group, if you will, you're by yourself. And that's perfectly fine. You definitely don't get no play on my phone. So there's a difference between tribalism and nationalism. There is a distinction between tribalism and nationalism. Tribalism has nothing to do with the state. It has nothing to do with being a citizen, right? You're just a member, and that's fine to be a member of the tribe, right? Right? You know what your tribe is? Everyone in your home. That's your tribe. Okay? Now, if you have the next door neighbors and you're cool, and they have their tribe, and y'all come together, you make a nation because you have support. Tribalism is not statehood. It's not statehood. Nationalism is statehood, right? Nations and states consist of we the people, all right? They're people. Tribes deal with people, right? But tribes don't deal with citizenship. They don't deal with citizenship. We the people of the United States. States. I'm a national, but I'm not a part of the U.S. state. We the people of the United States. United States means jural society. Okay? In order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Constitution. Well, what did we just read earlier about a citizen? A citizen is a member of a free city or jural society possessing all the rights and privileges which can be enjoyed by any person under its constitution. Let me now give you another definition of citizen. In American law, a citizen it says one. I'll just write it out. Why not? One who, under the Constitution, and laws of the United States mind you, the States United make up America, okay? All right. Has the right to vote for civil officers. Civil officers, public persons. Remember, we're private, right? At this point, but we have one who, under the Constitution and laws of the United States, has a right to vote for civil officers and himself or herself is qualified to fill elective offices. So a citizen, right, can be an authorized representative. They could be a principal party for the people, right? And they have the right to choose among their own people, among their own jural society, who to put in office. They can even be elected themselves, right? The kicker. What is a citizen? One of the sovereign people, a constituent member of the sovereignty synonymous with the people. So in American law, a citizen is synonymous with the people. A citizen is one of the sovereign people. I'm not a citizen. By all means, you don't have to be a citizen. But if you're not a citizen, you're not one of the sovereign people. Now, mind you, it says a constituent member. What is the root of constituent? Right? Or where else do we see this right here? Constituent. Constitution. So a citizen is a constituent member, meaning a jural society, a member within the state, under the Constitution. They're under the covenant. They are under the agreement. They have agreed to the terms and conditions of the body politic. All right. In American law, screw what they tell you out there in social media land, right? According to the law dictionary, right? Because we're here to deal with the law. We're here to exercise and uphold the law, right? Okay. So unfortunately, you must go. See you later, Luciano. Just weirdos. All right. Okay. In American law, a citizen is synonymous with the people. The sovereign people make up the state. Okay? So now, do we find this mixture of the word? Here we go. Is the word citizen in the Constitution? Is it here? Is it? Is it? Is it? So we see that Article 4, Section 2 of the United States Constitution says that the citizens of each state, so that's the members of each nation, shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in the several states, or they shall be entitled to the same privileges and immunities of the members in the several nations. right? So we do see this word citizen, right? But hold on. Isn't a citizen a person? Absolutely. Give me 1 second. Let me see. If I did send the joint, I apologize. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for being patient. I'm back. All right. Bill of Rights. What does the Fourth Amendment of the Bill of Rights say? We just learned this word. The right means authority. Now, the people are the persons, right? The right of the people to be secure in their persons. ETC. So, what can we deduce from this? We can deduce that people are not persons, but that people have persons and that people have the right to be secure in their persons. You are looking at a people who has a secured person. This is my secured person. This is the person that has been secured. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, but hold on. In their persons. So that means that there's two persons, not in their person, but in their persons. They're private and public, right? As well, their houses, their papers. I have to be the right to be. I have the authority to be secure in my papers and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. Right? So I have secured my person. What is another word that can be utilized for person? Right? I hear people say persona. Absolutely. Personality. Personnel. Personality. But here's the one I'm looking for. Party. Here's another one that just came to me. Party. Now, all of these words actually have the root person in it. Persona, personality, personnel, personality, personage. But party actually means the same thing. And so we can now read that Bill of Rights. Amendment 4 as yeah. All right, yeah. The right, you know what? The authority of the citizen to be secure in his party. This makes me a secured party. I'm a secured party. And the secured party is the creditor. How do we know this? So mind you, as I'm speaking, the Constitution is a business contract. It's a family business, okay? So we're dealing with corporations. For those of you who have this issue, right, with corporate structure, I need you to recognize and understand that every state is a body politic. And a body politic, as we've learned in the beginning, is a corporation. That every state is a body politic. And a body politic, as we've learned in the beginning, is a corporation. Be like that. But it definitely paused me, so I had to come back. Okay. So, America is a corporation. America is the family corporation. And each family consists of each members of each state. All right, so we're about our Father's business. Isn't that what Jesus said? Didn't you know you'd find me being about my Father's business? This is all about business. Don't be fooled. This is about private business and public business. All right, so you are the businessmen and women. At least you should recognize yourself as such. Okay, so what was I? Oh yeah. Talk about secured parties. Is anyone familiar with the T account? Okay. Right, we'll box them in, whatever, right? This is your cross, right? You must bear your cross and be held accountable, okay? But we have the public and the private. We have the unsecured and the secured. Mind you, these are persons. You have the debtor and the creditor. Now, mind you, they work together, right? You can't have debits without credits. You can't be a secured party without securing a party, without having a party to be secure. This is a security. This is that security secure. Okay? All of the processes and procedures that you may come into people. Let me see. Okay, thank you. All right, yeah. Is it doing that? Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. It's not letting me make. Oh, there we go. TikTok be doing the most. Thank you for letting me know that. Most welcome. So, if you understand the very first, let me pull that back some. This is all about accounting because this is the business. You're supposed to be an accountant. You're supposed to take account. This is your cross. Take your cross with you. This is your record of account. This is your balance sheet. Okay? Debits always, always, always equals credits. If someone has drawn or debited your account, then that means on the other side, someone received and was credited whatever they took out of the account. Okay? This is your debtor person. This is your creditor person. They're both artificial persons. Both of them. Both of them. So, I hear a lot of people say, well, a person is a corporation, blah, 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 blah. So let me give it to you this way, right? This is the human being. We're speaking abstract, okay? On this side are his sins. This is the debit side. On this side is redemption. We also call redemption in religion forgiveness. The forgiveness of sins is the redemption of debt. You understand? This is you, and these are your two persons. You have the sinner and the redeemer. Okay? You have the U.S., there we go. This is the stateless, or we'll call it the straw. A lot of you are familiar with the straw man. I don't want to call it straw man. It's a person. It's a straw person, right? Straw meaning that it's paper, lifeless, right? Like the scarecrow is a straw man, right? It's lifeless. It can't do anything other than what it's told to do. That's the debtor side. But on this side, there we go. There we go. You know what? Okay, so you were born, when you were born, this is you. You were given an estate in your name. You were given a sole proprietorship. You were identified as an individual. I call that Patti LaBelle. You're on your own, okay? And the rite of passage is that you are to take your sole prop, right, which identifies you with the business as one. Okay, you're going. Okay, so you were given the sole prop when your mother and father filled out that birth certificate. What you have been issued is an estate. Your state of birth issued you an estate in the public. This is a business. How do we know this is a business? Because this is associated with a social security number, which is an EIN, in which most of you do business with, and that's why you're being taxed to death, right? When you come of age, your right to passage, you are not to be an individual, right? You're supposed to be a part of a jural society, right? This becomes your corporation, because now it's not what they call a discarded entity, right? It's not a single member. It's now me, myself, and I. So I now have a corporation. I'm not alone, right? And because my state is Pennsylvania, and I gave Pennsylvania, like, here you go. I need to secure this under my corporation. They gave me my corporation. They recognize my corporation. I now have an EIN, if you will, that is foreign to the federal jurisdiction. No taxes are taken out by the feds, right? And I am now recognized not as by myself, but I am now recognized as we the people. This means that I'm we the people. I have safe passage in Pennsylvania, and all of the other states in the union recognize me. I have safe passage. I can pass through the ports. The ports are dealing with commerce. We're dealing with the water when we're dealing with the ports. It's the incoming and outgoing. So I'm now a secured party. And because I secured on the right side, I'm now a secured party creditor. I'm on the right side of God. Well, that cross must be God because you are God, right? And I'm on the right side. I'm on the creditor side. I'm the only one who can redeem my sinner, my debtor. And I have redeemed it, and it is known. Okay? But I have to be a citizen in order to do all of this. I have to be known, recognized as a national of one of the states. Excuse me. This is my state. This is my overall nation. States and nations, right? We learned that a state and a nation, they're synonymous. Or they're interchangeable. Yes, America is a nation. Yes, America is a nation. We have 50 states, right? We have 50 nations, if you will, right? 50 state governments, right? And they're all in union. And they call themselves. So these are all the family members who come together and said, this is the family business. Now, how do we see this? How do we see this? From many, one. So Pennsylvania is a nation within a greater nation. Right? Tennessee is a nation within a greater nation. As long as we're in the union, that's the family. This is the union. The union. A union is a national organization. Or it's also a fraternal order, right? Or it's family business. These all mean the same thing. It's a national organization to which nation? I'll let you figure that out. I'm not here to answer questions at this moment. It's a national organ. I don't understand how you don't understand. But look up the word national and look up the word organization, and then you should be able to figure it out for yourself, okay? All right. Anywho, America is the only land on planet Earth that has organized its whole continent as one people. Marcus Garvey and Muammar Gaddafi, just two examples of individuals who were trying to get a United States of Africa. All right? Islam, Red Risings, beloved. So Marcus Garvey, he came and he taught the people nationalism, which is the purest form of just, hey, we all together. We all get together, right? To nationalize means to secure, to privatize, right? He's saying, hey, Africa for Africans, Europe for Europeans, we should get our own resources and do our own business and not let anybody else come in between us, right? Muammar Gaddafi, he was unalive because his intentions was to actually do just that. He was pulling for gathering all of Africa's resources, right, and then backing their finance off of the resources, the minerals of the land, right? This is what we've done in America. America is the melting pot. It's the hub. All right. We know this because all other nations and all other continents around the planet, they desire to be the way that America is. America is not like every other country or continent. Collectively, all 50 states are saying that we're one. That's why we get this idea of America as a country, though we know it's a continent. But the concept is that everybody's together here. Now, if you go to Africa, right, and let's say, prime example, Burkina Faso, right? Burkina Faso, they're by themselves. This is like a tribal nation, if you will, right? They're not running up to Libya. They're not running to Chad, Rwanda, the Congo, and saying, hey, let's link up. We're not doing that. They're independent. Now, mind you, every state in the Union is sovereign to themselves, but some of the sovereignty was relinquished, right, in order to secure themselves with the other individual. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm a Pennsylvanian, but Ohio's right here, and New York or New Jersey's right here. As a sovereign nation, as a sovereign state, if everybody came against us, we wouldn't really be able to fight. So we're going to relinquish some of our some. But New York is going to relinquish some of theirs. Ohio is going to relinquish some of theirs. So that we could come in union and say, hey, we're all one. I recognize you. I recognize you. We recognize each other as one group. So the relinquishment of sovereignty, it's not total. It's not a total relinquishment. It's saying, hey, you know what? We cool. We cool. We all in the picture now. Hey, take a pick. All right? That's the understanding of the relinquishment of some rights. Some. In exchange for the protection of those around you. Because they've given up some of their rights too. If Pennsylvania did not come into the Union, right? Me as a Pennsylvanian, as a Pennsylvanian or a Pennsylvania statesman, if I were to try to go to New York and I wouldn't be recognized, they're gonna hunt me down. I don't have any agreement. We don't have any contract. We don't have a constitution. We're not in agreement. That U.S. Constitution is the agreement. It's the covenant. We are all under it. That's the protection. I'm cool over here. I'm cool over here because I recognize them as brother. I recognize them as brother. We recognize each other as family. So there's no issue. And again, where did I put it? There we go. This gives me recognition in Pennsylvania. This security instrument, right? This gives me passage everywhere. So I'm known as a Pennsylvanian because Pennsylvania the state issued me the estate. The people and the state are one. They're not indivisible. It's indivisible. They can't be separated. So this authorized this, and this allows me to go everywhere and be safe. Safe travels. Safe travels. And with that in mind, for my Masons out there, right? No, I am not a Mason, but I understand the order. And for those who are truly upright, this is for you. I am not a Mason. I am a Muslim. A Mason is made. A Muslim is born. But anywho, the Masons tell you that they're travelers from the west to the east. This is what they're talking about. From being recognized as a stateless citizen to a state citizen. I'm a traveler. I travel. I travel to the east, my brother, to the east. For my Christians out there. A Christian's purpose is to get out of sin, right, as a debtor, and to be forgiven. And he is to be seated on the right side of God. Mind you, the right side is the east side. Old banging days. But anywho, this is the understanding. I don't use non-citizen national because I'm a citizen. But you can use that if you wish to use that. That's on you. That's on you. Right? Caveat emptor, be advised. All right? I don't say I'm a non-citizen national. I just know that there's two citizens, and I know which one does what. I am a citizen of the United States. Absolutely. But I'm the state citizen, not the stateless one. But you can go ahead with that weird logic of non-citizen national. It makes no sense. The whole purpose of this lecture, and obviously I now recognize that you weren't here in the beginning. We already went over the definitions of citizen. I am a citizen. I am. I have to be. I can't. You can't be this and not be a citizen. You can't be an American and not be a citizen. Okay. Okay. I'm not here to answer any questions right now. That's going to take me off my. Here, you know what? Let me see. Let me see. Let's do this. Let's do this. Come on up. Come on up. Because I'm not going to be typing and I'm not going to be sitting here. My intentions is not to be reading all of these comments. So if you have something to say, please, by all means, come on up and you can speak it. Do you not wish to come on? What was that? Straight shooter. Come on up, straight shooter. Come on up. Where you at? Straight shooter. So here's another thing, right? I will answer questions if you come on the feed and show your face. I will not be answering questions in the comments because that is distracting. You're distracting the class, but you're more than welcome to come up. Invite yourself up. I speak. I'm real. I will speak with you. I will let you speak your piece. Absolutely. Most welcome. You're most welcome. All right. So for the Freemasons, you're traveling east. For the Christians, you want to be seated at the right hand of the Lord. For the Muslims, we call it a tawheed, which means unification. We're bringing it together in the middle, in the heart. We're bringing our debtor and our creditor, and we're saying Allah. Take that. To the Muslim, Allah is the Constitution and the state and the will of the people. This is you. Now, mind you, I am a Sufi Muslim. I am not a Sunni Muslim. No disrespect to my head-banging brothers. All right, but I stand upright. There's no need for me to bow like I am the debtor. I am the creditor. I am both. And I'm not confused. Okay? So, to the Muslim, when you hear him talk, oh, Allah, Allahu Akbar, this is the consciousness of the people. This is the agreement, the terms and conditions of the people. The people say what a law is because the law is not outside of ourselves. Okay? Yes, the ism. Absolutely. Absolutely. But not free Moorish Master Mason Islam. I'm not into that. Just for you all who are in here, and I've seen the I Self-Law and Master. I need you all to recognize that Sam Bay's information, where we get a lot of that from, he does not identify the people as Muslim, and he does not utilize the word Allah. He tells you that there is no need for Allah, right? And so, I'm going to touch on this, and then I'm going to be done with it, right? For my Moorish American Muslims, thank you, right? For my Moorish American Muslims, right? The very first chapter of the Circle 7 Quran, right? The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Circle 7. Allah is identified as the husbandman. Okay? Why is Allah the husbandman? Because the father, right, when we're dealing with trusts and estates, is the creator of it. Okay, it's the giver. It comes from him, if you will, right? There's also a mother-in-law, absolutely, because they're in union. And she is the one who prepares and nurtures the estate, right? So Allah is the husbandman to us, right? But to these Moorish master masons, right, who like to do this here, they cut out the father. They cut it out. They even go so far as to say widow's son. Now, if Allah is the father and the father is the light, y'all niggas is in darkness. This is a trinity. Where's the trinity of Ma's son? Where is it at? Why are you a widow's son? That means that there is no husbandman. What are you talking about? But anyway, I just needed to put that out there. Right? This is why I don't subscribe. Plus, CM Bay was talking crazy about the prophet. You see what I'm saying? I don't rock with that. Not at all. So, Allah means justice. The cross itself. Okay, I can show you better than I can teach. Yeah. The cross. Sword of justice. Sword means sacred word, the sacred word of justice. This is you. We ain't got to do all this here. So this is the cross, and you've brought the light of the world down to the earth, okay? You've brought the consciousness into reality, right? So this is you. This represents the you inside. This is your servant side. Right? This is your master side. This is your subject side. This is your magistrate side. These are your two selves. This is what we're talking about with state citizenship. This stuff applies on all of these levels. This is your straw man side. It belongs to you. This is your creditor side. It belongs to you. But this is you. You are justice, and justice must live. Yeah. Just real quick, bust this down for you, right? There's a lot of brothers and sisters out there in the legal world who are arguing over prosecute, pro se, and pro per. I'm here to tell you that I only go pro se. I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to say, hey, I'm this, I'm not. I'm pro se because the prosecutor has the most power in the court, right? When you're in court and you're dealing with certain issues, right, you have to mirror. They're claiming if you are being wrong. Let me put it that way, right? Because if you are the debtor, then you are the debtor, right? But if someone is alleging that you are the defendant, right, and you've done no wrong, you now must act as the prosecutor, and you must flip it or mirror it so that now you are the representative. You are now the master. You are now the creditor. Okay? Just some concepts. Here at American Nationals University, or I New Era, we take the boogie woogie out of all of that. We take all of that. We take all. We're not here for that, right? For those who like to believe, by all means, that is the first step. But we're here about fruition. Okay, we're here to we're not only here to draw out, but we are here to place back in as well. Okay? All right, at this moment, I'm opening up to take questions. Let me see. Cheeks, well, I appreciate being the one to give it to you, family. I appreciate pause. But yeah, I appreciate gratitude for me to be able to lead you to your own understanding. And what I'm speaking to, because I know when I put this on YouTube, you're not going to be able to see it. The brother says, "That's deep, bro. Never heard it like this before." All right, so, all right, fuck it. All right. So, here's the question, and I'm going to go down. No, I'm not breaking down the UCCs. I'm not doing all that. It's not what I'm here for. You can figure it out yourself, family. I'm the teacher. You're not going to tell me what to do, all right? All right. And I'm autistic, so that's why I get down like that. Don't tell me what to do, okay? We'll be great. Here we go. Come on up and ask me that question. Come on up.
Yeah, I'm only gonna be up here for a second. I'm driving.
No doubt. So you asked me if I'm Moroccan, why am I wearing the fez?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the answer, I'm gonna try to make that real quick for you because you're in motion. My ancestors are Moroccans. I know for a fact that prior to 1491, there were North Africans, Europeans, and Asians who settled the Americas. All right. Now, I am the descendant or the posterity of those interchanges here in the Americas. So I have Moroccan descent to my nature. And so I am honoring my mothers and my fathers. I know my history. I'm not confused. I'm not black. I'm not Bantu, right? I understand that Moroccans, as well as Egyptians, Libyans, all of these North Africans settled the Americas. And if they were settling the Americas, right, because these are the seafaring people, these are the people sailing the seven seas. And we know Moors, if you will, among others, were doing that. So if they sailed over here and they were doing business with one another, of course they would be leaving their seeds here too, because that's the way
Hmm.
of the people. And so
I got.
I'm the descendants of those Moroccans born in America. So I'm Moorish American because I'm not from Morocco. My ancestors are from Morocco.
All right, I got you.
But I do know that I'm Moroccan. Okay, I appreciate you for coming up, family.
All right, no problem.
All right, peace and love.
Peace.
me see. Yeah. Peaceful greetings, Desire. How might I assist you today?
What's good with you, brother?
All is
I
well,
guess
beloved.
top question is who lived in the land of Nod before Cain built this city?
So all of those things are allegorical, bro. I don't deal with the boogie woogie shit.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
it can't be an
I
allegory.
deal with reality.
We exist with blood flowing in our veins, so it came from somewhere. So
Absolutely.
it can't be an
Well, I don't
allegory.
know anything about Nod or Gad or any of that. I hear people speaking about it a lot, right? I have tunnel vision. I try to stay within the realms of understanding. I'm not going off
Hey,
where
don't
anyone
go no
might be able
further
to
than your faith.
misunderstand me.
Just say that ain't your subject topic. You know what I'm saying? Tell them
That's all,
that
beloved. That's all.
good. That's it.
But
Ain't
I
nothing against
appreciate you
that.
for asking and for sharing. You know what I mean?
Hey, you have a great one.
You too. Peace and love. All right. So now I'm going to get back. There was a question that was asked about Adam and Eve and if Adam knew, if Adam was told all the names of all the things, why didn't he know what the serpent was? So, first and foremost, the Bible, and this is what I know. You know, I wish I could have assisted the individual who just came on. All right, the Bible deals with Eastern philosophy. Let's step that up right now, right? Philosophy. Mind you, everything's in the east or to the right, right? So first and foremost, the Bible deals with Eastern philosophy. In the East, the serpent is wisdom. Adam didn't have any wisdom. Adam only had what was told to him until, yeah, let's make it there. All right, yeah. So I'm going to get into the Bible just real quick. Just real quick, okay? This is for my Christians and my Sunni Muslims. You know all that, right? I use the Geneva Bible. I don't use King James. All right. I already know, so I'm not even going. So when we look at the creation story in the Bible, okay, there are actually two creations, but we're not going to get into that. The very first lie told was by, some of them like to say that it's Jehovah or Yahweh, right? I know it's the Anunnaki, but regardless, right? So Yahweh, or whoever you want to call this God in the Bible, told Adam all the names, and he repeated them, right? He didn't know them until he repeated them. But mind you, in the garden, Yahweh or Yahuwah or however you want to call this God in the Bible, right, was the first person to tell a lie. So he told Adam and Eve, don't eat of this here, because if you do, you will surely die. Right? And then they go moseying on, whoop, and they find themselves over here, right? Mind you, Eve is created to be the helper of Adam. So this serpent, and mind you, serpent doesn't mean snake. Serpent literally means creepy thing, creepy crawly thing. But anywho, serpent means wisdom. Okay? So the serpent comes to the helper of man. It tells the helper of man, yo, that nigga lied to you. He lied to you. He doesn't want you to take in this information, because then you'll know like they know. Mind you, he said you'll know like them. You'll be like one of them, not like the one, right? He says, hey, you won't die. So the serpent tells Eve, right? Go ahead and participate in it, and you will be like gods. And she, being the helper of man, says, hey, take that. Right? So then here comes Jehovah, or, Allah, the boogie woogie, right? And he's like, yo, he sees that the breasts and the vagina is covered, all of that's covered, and it's like, yo, where's my creep show? What's going on here? And then he says, oh man, I know what you did. You went over there. And then what did he tell them? Did they die? No. He said, surely they have become like one of us. Isn't that what the serpent told them? And then because they came into this wisdom of knowing right and wrong, right, good and evil, because they are now balanced and level, this Yahuwah, God, whatever you want to call it, he basically, he tramples upon wisdom and tells Eve, your children in wisdom will never, I'm going to pit them against you. Because now that you're like one of us. I mean, that's the story. That is the story. And I would encourage you to go and read it. I'm lost. Well, you can get lost. How about that? I'm lost. All right. And by all means, if you have your own perception of the story, that's fine, but keep it to yourself. What is my take on the Bible? My take on the Bible is that there is information in it. First and foremost, it's all allegorical. It's all meant to be, they're all principles that you're supposed to find within yourself, right? Some people need to hear it like that to understand. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the Bible, first and foremost, there is the Bible is trust in the states, trust in the state law, wills and testaments. That's what it is. Every religious scripture is trying to express to you how trusts in the states, wills, and testaments apply. And so with the Bible, there has been things that have been plucked out. There has been things that have been introduced too, and because the people don't realize that they're dealing with trusts in the states, right? They get lost in the sauce, thinking that it's some boogie woogie, ooh. And the same thing happens. And the same thing happens here. Who lied in the Bible? All right. A ton, but y'all know it as Yod-Heh, Vav-Heh, right? Some like to call it Jehovah. And the Muslims recognize it as Allah, but we are to understand that there are Elohim, and so this is a plural. So one of the Elohim, the one that they like to call Jehovah, that's the one who lied. Because he told Adam and Eve, if you go over here and you eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that you will surely die. This is in your Bible. And the Quran, the Quran of Arabia, hold on. The Quran of Arabia, trying to think of the word that I want to use. Up there it goes. The Quran likes to vouch for the Bible, right? The Quran of Mecca, because again, it's all trust in the state law in all reality, But so the Quran likes to vouch, it likes to vouch for the Bible, right? And so it's going to give the same interpretation. But Adam and Eve were lied to by one of the Elohim, and according to Arabic, the Elohim would be Allahumma. It's plural, right? So one of these Elohim told Adam and Eve, this was Saturn, this was Satan, okay? Told them, if you do this, this will happen. And then the serpent comes and says, nah, that ain't what's going to happen. So the serpent is another of the Elohim, okay? And it's like, yo, that he lied to you. He don't want you to know that if you take in this information that you will be able to see, right? And so Adam and Eve partook of the information, and sure enough, when this other Elohim, Yahweh, or however you wish to call it, right, comes and is like, yo, sees them all wrapped up, covered up. Well, they were just naked a moment ago. So his little free leak show just got stunted on, right? Because now everybody's covered up. And he's like, yo, oh, you were over there doing what I told you not to do. Right? And because now they have they're conscious. They recognize, right? And mind you, this God of the Bible told them, hey, if you eat this, you'll die. Did they die? Not at all. Now, what did the serpent say? One, you won't die, and two, you'll know like they know. Now, what did this God in the Bible say? Surely they have become like one of us. So who lied? Just saying. So I've never been to the Adept Chamber, right? For the Moorish Americans out there, right? I learned this outside of the temple. I learned this by observing, by really putting in study, because I knew that going to the temple, I wasn't going to get this. This is my Adept Chamber right here, and I've met myself here, right? All right, so Jesus got stabbed in the heart. Jesus got stabbed in the heart. I met myself already in the heart. What's up, love? Happy holiday, Muslim. So I had my meeting in the heart already. I've already come to my chamber of commerce. I already know myself. My higher self and my lower self came together in union. The blood, when Jesus got stabbed in his heart, the blood, which is the life force that redeemed everybody, mind you, redemption's on this side, it flowed down to revenge you. That's your redemption. I learned all of this by studying accounting, bro. No, religion can lift you up or it can hold you down. If you don't understand that it's about business and accounting and trusts and whatnot, and you take it on its face value without going beneath the surface, Yeah, it's gonna hold you down because you're gonna be out here running around like a chicken with his head cut off, thinking that there's something outside of yourself that dictates whatever's going on inside of yourself. Doesn't make sense that way. Daoud bin Yehuda, ma shalom cha, shalom aleichem, achi. All right. I am Amir Nabil Daoud Ali. I am Prince Numble, son of the beloved of Most High. That is the quality and the character and the name that was given to me when I crowned on this beautiful third heaven, this third rock from the sun. You know. So now Juju Ali said that the new Moors would come in, eyes wide open, seeing and knowing, who are going to sit the old Moors down to the back and carry out their laws, meaning one of the revealing factors of the prophecy being fulfilled is that there would be Moors who would know the truth who didn't get it out of that temple. I am the temple. All right, but we've gotten far off course. Absolutely, Son of Man, light of the world. I didn't want to get too far off course, so I'm going to recap. Citizen, person, nation, state, and then I had private person up there as well. In order to be an American, you must be a citizen, or you are an illegal immigrant. Okay, the stateless, let me knock that down one good time. Let me knock this down. What does black mean? Black as a race, person is property, property belonging to any of the black African racial groups. Black means stateless without sound mind. Okay? What does white mean? Person, that's property, belonging to any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. A person is a property. It's a designation. Okay? White belongs to North Africans as well. There is a white status, right, for North Africans. Morocco is definitely in North Africa. Damn, why am I tripping? White status means state status. It means that you're in law with the state. You're in law. You're lawful. A person, property belonging to black African racial groups. There's only one race. You can believe that there's other races. But there's only one race, and the race is humanity. Black means darkness, without light, without knowledge. It means ignorant. It means incompetent, and it means minor, like a child. A child doesn't know, how to run $1 billion business off rip, right? Can't speak on it, right? White means in law, in sight, can be seen, recognized, authorized. Okay? So African racial group. If you want to be African American, it's saying that you're not the black person. This is a black person. This is a black personality. This is a white personality. And I'm going to try to show y'all real quick, but not too much. All right. I have my fez on. This is the gray. Okay. For my yin yangers. Okay. For my yin yangers, right? This is also a trinity. All right. You have the good and the bad and the good. And you have this in the middle, which brings them together. Okay. Your debitor, your creditor, and your sovereign self. Okay. In the trust, you have the grantor. Right. This is the state. This is the estate. This is the estate. This is the trustee. Okay? Or in court, this is the judge. This is the defendant. This is the prosecutor. These are all yourselves. You are all of these things, right? You wear many hats. But when we're dealing with nationality, this identifies the white living status, and this identifies the black non-living status. That's why people are so quick to call this the straw man, because a scarecrow, which is a man of straw, it doesn't live. It just appears to be. It's in the form of a man, but it does not have the substance. This has the substance. Okay? To be a secured party, to be a national, to be an American in all reality, you must identify as a citizen. People don't do that. That's racism. There's no such thing as there's only one race, brother. And if you want to identify humanity by crayon colors like children, then so be it. But we're dealing with reality here. We're not dealing with crayon people, man. There is no such thing as black African racial groups. Think about it. Consider that. If humanity is the race, then how are you talking about you love all colors? If white means recognized by God, then the white race is the human race. See, in Islam, we bring everybody together. We don't say, oh, you're this, you're that. No, we all stand as one. We're all sovereign together. White means sovereign. We're not talking about, this doesn't mean that I'm black. First and foremost, my robe is black. My robe is black. And the size of my glasses, they're white. Now, I've never seen a human being that looks this color, or this color. And on the S, you know what? Not even gonna get into all of that. Lakum dinakum waliya din, akhi. To you be your way, to me be mine, okay? Yes, everyone is human, and if you, just letting you know now, if you start ranting on my post, talk about other human beings aren't humans because of their skin tone, you will get cut. You will get cut. Because in Islam, we don't identify people the way that you're about to try to. In Islam, we're about Tawheed. We're about oneness. We see all of God's creation as one.
Hello.
Peaceful
So
greetings.
yeah, greetings. So I see you said that you from Moroccan by descent, by ancestry
Yes.
descent. Yes,
Yes.
that's wonderful. So like 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 so would you come back to Morocco, or would you like stay in America and be the Moors of America? What's the situation
So,
between the Moors and Morocco and the Moors in America? How is there a difference?
just the landmass. That's all. It's just the landmass.
Okay.
When we consider, let's just look at the Atlantic Ocean, right? Because that's what separates Africa from America, right? Are you there? Rico Oblique, are you there? Okay, he must have dropped off.
Islam, peace, brother.
Islam, Islam, Muslim, happy holiday, family.
Same to you, man. How you doing?
I'm peaceful, brother. Very grateful.
All
How
right.
about yourself?
Pretty good, man. I can tell you're a good teacher, man. So I've been listening to you lately, man.
I appreciate it. I'm out here trying to. I'm just your brother, man. Come to show you the way, right, bro?
There you go. There you go.
There you
Hey,
go.
can I say something right quick? We talking about nationality, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, tell me if I'm right or wrong about what I'm about to say. So as far as the Indians, right? So the Indian and the Moors, right? It's a misnomer. So the Indian is really, you get your status from being a Moor, but the Indian is a misnomer. Is that correct?
All right, yeah. Let me break it down for you. So, Indian. First and foremost, Indians are from India. First and foremost.
Right.
All right. Um, the identity of the Native Americans are Christian European,
Right.
not Muslim European, but Christian European.
Mm-hmm.
In the 1800s, the mid 1800s, their political party was called the Know Nothings, KNOW, Know Nothings. They knew nothing. Those who call themselves American Indians today are the byproduct of the Afro-Eurasian connection here in the Americas. They are our They are one of us, but they don't have any. They can't identify themselves off this continent.
Gotcha.
But the Europeans, the Asians, and the North Africans who came here, we can identify ourselves off this continent.
Mm-hmm.
So they are made in America.
Gotcha.
Just like the Negroes, made in America. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And just real quick, Drew Ali even lets us know what's cracking. Real quick. And I'm going to show you. Hold on 1 second. This is information that I put together, all of Noble Drew Ali's literature, right? That wasn't being taught in any of the temples the way that it needed to be. All right, here we go. You heard of the story of Drew Ali and C. Kirkman Bey going to the Pan American Conference?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to read this to you. And I'm going to stop. All right. It says, Brother Akub Bey, Grand Governor of Illinois Emeritus, told Brother Orlov L. Grand Sheik of the Moor Sons Temple of America, and Brother C. Tyson Bey, past chairman of the Moor Sons Temple of America, about the time when the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, and C. Kirkman Bey went to the Pan American Conference in 1928. By the way, I have the ship manifest to that as well. It says that Drew Ali was born in Norfolk, Virginia, but that's another topic. It says, at that time, the Holy Prophet went there and represented the Moors. Who did he represent? Okay.
The Moors.
Absolutely. All right. And he says, and there was an Indian chief representing the American Indians. So are Moors American Indians? If there was already someone there representing American Indians and Drew Ali came to represent the Moors, we're not American Indians.
Okay, that separates the two right there. Okay, gotcha.
Right. And then in the SF11 form, let me show you that real quick. Have you ever seen the race and ethnicity form? Right, where they tell you black is this, white is that, whoop de whoop de whoop. Most people are not aware that form sets your commercial status nationally and internationally.
I did.
You ever seen that?
Yeah, that's
all right. So right, and so all right, so you seen it, right? It says American Indian says a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America, including Central America. And here comes the distinction, and I spoke about this earlier. And who maintains tribal affiliation. Tribalism is not nationalism. They're not American citizens. They're not white American citizens. They're not the top of the class.
Okay, can I ask you something? So on that form,
absolutely, I'm here, bro.
Okay, on that form, they don't have the slot for us to pick what we pick. We supposed to put in line.
Yes, they do.
Oh, they do,
bro.
Are you talking about the slot where it says for white?
Yeah, aren't you North African descent?
Yeah, I did that, right? So look, that's why I'm trying to fix what I got going on. So I did that form, right? So I did a status correction, right? But I don't think I did it properly, right? So, and I just became a state national too recently. So I did that because I had some confusion going on with the Moorish thing, right? Or the Moroccan thing. So I just said, you know what? If I hold my allegiance to my state, I can still take myself out of that 14th Amendment.
Absolutely.
You get what
when
I'm
you
saying?
Become a state national, when you have your passport and you're recognized, bro. Like I got 5 stars on my passport card, right? When you have your passport, you're recognized as white, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm savvy to that. I understand that. Right. A lot of people they don't understand that.
So, right. So now anytime you're doing so I tell people you don't have to go through the process of correcting all of any paperwork because your I work with my passport. All right. And I know for a fact, this is not me thinking it. This is me knowing it. I don't get taxed by the feds. So I'm not identified as a federal citizen. I'm not even in the black stateless status. Because only the black stateless status are the ones who pay federal tax.
Right. So look, I did it's called a revocation of election to pay taxes. So I did
Mm-hmm.
one of those, and you got to send it out to like 4, 5 people. So I'm in Washington D.C. myself, right? So I can walk right into these.
Mm.
I can walk right into these places like I do and get on my paperwork. I'm in D.C., right? So a lot of people, man, they gotta fill out those papers and send them out here, and I'm already here. You know what I mean? Because
So
guess what?
again,
DC
so again,
is
I don't even
places.
deal. I don't deal with DC. I have a respect for DC, but the District of Columbia, it's not a sovereign state. It's not a state at all.
Nah, it's a district only, and
Right.
it's de facto for a reason, so that they can do the stuff that they're doing now. So the District of
Well,
Columbia,
it's about balance. It's about checks and balances. You know what I mean? They deal with the
yeah,
debtors,
yeah, exactly,
and then the states, and then every citizen of a particular state, they're the creditors of that state. And so
exactly,
the federal government deals with all of those who have yet to be recognized to be white. We know that white means in law, in full life. Until they're recognized in law, they have to be dealt with, because anyone who was acting as a federal citizen, they're enemies of the state because they're not a part of the state. So they
yeah,
have to
simply,
be looked over. You know what I'm saying? They're the debtors. And you can't allow a debtor to come into your estate and start acting like they run shit.
exactly.
So, it's not about a good or bad. It's just, hey, until the people recognize that they need to be a part of their state, this is how people are dealt with, right?
There you
Until
go.
they pledge as collateral their debtor, then they won't be the secured party as the creditor. You know what I mean?
There, there you go. And the only way to do that is okay. Can tell me, correct me if I'm wrong, but that the passport makes you foreign, right?
No, it makes you
No,
perfected.
okay, gotcha. All right.
It completes you. You know what I'm saying? Because you have your lower self and your higher self. Well, your lower self is the debtor,
Right. But
and
that,
your higher self is the creditor. But they must be balanced. They must be unified. They must be one. That's what the cross represents. So you're
mhm.
not foreign. You're not foreign. You're just not under the auspices. You're not to be regulated by the
Right.
by the
So
federal government. You're regulated by
that,
your
that
state.
is that also what you would call a non-citizen national? Same
So
thing, right?
I hear people saying that, right? And I don't personally use it. I use the words that Drew Ali gave us.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm a free national citizen.
Right. Okay.
So free means sovereign, national means state. So I'm a state citizen.
Right.
I'm not foreign to the federal jurisdiction, but there has to be something. There has to be. I have to do something in order for that jurisdiction to come over me. It's not just. It's not assumed.
Right. Gotcha.
Now people say, "Okay, I'm a foreign national," and I'm like, "Foreign to what?" I have two persons. I have a U.S. stateless citizen and a U.S. state citizen. They
What?
come together. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not foreign, but you hear people use that because that's the way that they understand it. I
Right.
don't. I don't use it.
Would that be another term for dual citizenship?
That's a good question. What we're talking about? Non-citizen national. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because a non-citizen national is saying that I'm not a citizen of Pennsylvania, but I'm a national somewhere out in the world, and I'm
There you
residing
go.
in Pennsylvania.
Right.
But I'm not. I don't have dual citizenship.
Okay,
You
gotcha.
know, I have universal citizenship. I'm good everywhere. You know what I mean? Like MasterCard and shit. You know what I mean?
I got you.
or American Express. You know what I'm saying?
That's the laws that we're supposed to be going by, right? International law.
Yeah, and this is an internationally protected person that I'm holding in my hand.
Right.
All right. So I am nationally and internationally protected.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my MasterCard. It's good anywhere the UCCs are utilized.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? No,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere in the world that the UCCs are utilized, I'm the motherfucking credit.
And they're utilized everywhere in the world.
Well, there are places where it's not, like Taiwan. A lot of people, they're going and getting their birth certificates authenticated, thinking that takes them out of a particular jurisdiction. They don't understand commerce. What that's doing is Taiwan does not use the UCCs. And
Okay,
so going to Taiwan to do business, you have to authenticate your financial instrument, right? And they have to figure out the checks and balances for you to do business. That's all that should mean.
I'm glad that you brought that up, man, because I did mine's right. So the first time I authenticated it on a state level. Okay, so I'm a Texan, right?
All right.
Okay, so I sent it out to Texas and I used Morocco. I ain't do all my research, but they a hate country, man. You know, I didn't know that.
Right.
That's
Now
crazy, man.
I would like to tell you, right? They're Hague, man. They deal with the UCCs, bro.
So that's
We
basically what
made
that
the
means.
UCCs, bro. We're the merchants. Myrrh, and then chant the word of the myrrh, the word of the moor,
Right.
bro. Good word,
That's,
good word. That's your
exactly.
good name. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm gonna show you, right? Because I speak of things that I've done, not of things that I think. I got mine done on the state and fed level, and then I figured it out. Like, I don't even fucking need to do all this. Not for the reason of what I did it for. You know what I'm saying? If I was gonna, like, I'm good now. If I want to go do business in Taiwan, I'm good now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But I ain't got no intentions of going to Taiwan.
Okay, so look, I did mine. I'm listening to a brother, right? I'm gonna tell you who I'm listening to, right? So the brother,
Yusuf.
Samat Matisse Academy, man, Amir El
Yeah,
Samael,
yeah, 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 yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so he's teaching, proper name holds absolute rights, right?
Uh,
So meaning you go to the court and you petition for a name correction, i.e., name change, right?
so here's
And
the thing. Let me stop you real quick. Let me stop you just real
okay,
quick. Nothing in Drew Ali's movement did that. Nothing that we observe him doing did that.
okay,
You see what I'm saying? There are many ways to skin the cat, right?
uh-huh.
Drew Ali is telling you pick the cat up and just shear that motherfucker. Don't play with it. Just shear that motherfucker.
Right.
You know, everybody else is saying, hey, yeah, you gotta clip the nails and then you gotta turn it on its back. No, nigga, like, meow. So, you know what I mean? So the brother with the Matisse, like, I see the information that he presents is good information, right? But I don't stand with all of it. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that it doesn't work, because the brother, the shit he's doing, it works.
Okay, now that's what I was gonna say next, because he using equity, man, and tearing them up in the courts, man.
Right? No, right. It's all about equity, bro. It's all
Yeah.
about that, right? You must have just came on, because a moment ago, that's what I was showing on the cross, right? Because it's all about accounting, brother.
Yeah, you
Right?
gotta
It's a
balance the
record.
books.
Right. So now when Jesus means justice, Jesus was on the cross, Jesus got spirit in his heart. His blood, which is the life force, dripped down. It dripped down on the right-hand side, so there was revenue. It was all about equity. Equity is the heart, bro.
Right.
Equity that's your investment. Equity deals with your investment. What do you owe? Or what do you own? Nigga, these are my rights over here. I'm the equitable owner, and ain't no liable party. Ain't nobody in on this with me. I'm the vested one. You know what I'm saying? Equity is about what you vested into whatever the situation may be. So yeah, it's like, hey, let me know what's on me. I'm the equitable owner.
Right. So what he's calling is that the same thing as the implied surety?
Yeah, I'm the surety. Absolutely. The
Mm-hmm.
surety is just saying that you're the creditor. All right. So the surety is the liable party. Like, put it
Right.
on me. I'm the
Mm-hmm.
only one authorized to redeem this.
Right.
A surety stands in place for the debtor.
For the debtor. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, the debtor is the defendant. The defendant, they're charging the birth certificate entity. They're charging the stateless entity. All right. Well, I'm the prosecutor. I speak on the surety. Mind you, the surety on the prosecuting attorney side, the prosecutor is the surety.
Right.
So I'm the pro se cuter. I'm the prosecutor on the other side. I'm surety.
But the prosecutor coming in acting as the beneficiary, right?
Yes.
So you gotta speak it on record, like,
You
hey,
gotta flip. Yeah, you gotta mirror. You gotta flip it.
right,
So
and there's nothing they
basically,
can
you
do.
have to come in. You have to come in and state your case for the record. The
Let
prosecutor
me,
comes in stating the case. You got to make your claim, right? The witness or the affiant, right? That's the complainant. That's the one who made the complaint. But the prosecutor is the one who took the complaint, right? And basically financed it, charged it, right? And now they're coming in making the claim.
and that's also called securities fraud, right?
Absolutely. If it is fraud, it is fraud. If it is fraud, you know what I mean. If you're in the wrong, it's not fraud.
Right. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I
So
mean on the fraud part, I'm meaning like, on the back end, on the private side, they expect most people to not know anything about that.
yeah, you go in there talking about where's these bonds at because you know business, they get fucked up in the game.
There you go. What is the appearance bond? It's like three of them, right?
Yeah, appearance bond, bid bond, and cash bond or payment bond.
There you go. Once you get to talking that, they trying to get you out of court then.
Absolutely, because you basically did what Ali did, which was what you took the covers off.
There you go.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can see it now. What's happening? You go in there and you speak their language. They like I don't go in there talking about I don't use legalese, right? But I study legalese so that I know that I could say something in plain English and they can interpret it as such. An example is I could go in there and say, I wish for this to stop, right?
Right.
7-year-old child understands that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But since the judge is supposed to be a word nerd, right? He's supposed to interpret that as cease and desist. I didn't have to come here saying that. That's not my job. My job is to make it as plain as possible. Brother Reggie, I appreciate you for coming on, family. I want to give this other individual an
Oh,
opportunity to
okay, no problem. Peace, man.
Islam, peace and love, brother. Brother James.
Yes, peace, peace. How you doing?
Ha! James Brown! Ha! No, I'm fucking with you.
Listen, I just wanted to say that I have a lot of questions about certain things, so I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or trying to disrupt. When I asked you about is everyone human, I've seen some things in my life.
Okay.
I've seen some things in my life that I can't explain, and I'm still confused. I mean, I don't want to really put this out there. I want to speak to you privately, but
All right, so no problem. What I will do, if you can follow and then send me a message.
Okay.
And when I get off this live feed, I'll call you personally.
Oh wow, thank you. I really appreciate that.
No problem, brother. I'm out here to link up with people. I'm not out here to just be this personality behind the screen. I don't get down like that. Like I'm really like my salvation depends on yours. So if I can if I can help you get to the clarity that you need, and then we both have that, then we can go out here and save the world, bro.
I appreciate that, but I do have one question.
By all means, go ahead.
It may sound crazy, but I'm still studying and learning this stuff. To me, it's crazy. And I'm saying, if we are the original people on this planet, why do we have to participate in their fiction, like their birth certificate? Why do
So
we have
it's
to?
not their fiction. It's ours because we're all human. So are you familiar with trusts and estates?
Somewhat, yes.
That's what we're dealing with, brother. Now you know that you aren't the estate, but you have an estate, and because trusts and estates deal with accounting, you have to keep record. And so
Okay.
all of these persons, they're just legal records. The records of account. That's all we're really looking at here. But people have gotten so far away from that understanding that they're like, yo, like you just said, theirs. Like, no, this is ours, brother. Our ancestors created this for the benefit of us. We lost sight.
Okay.
We lost sight of the benefit because we have been miseducated, intentionally to identify only with one. Like most people don't realize that there's two types of persons. I heard people say, "Oh man, a person's what they say, an artificial, legal entity." I'm like, yeah, but do you know that you have a debtor person and a creditor person? Most of us are just dealing with the debtor side. That's all we know. That's the public side. We don't know nothing about the private side. No one taught us the private side. All right, it's like you're doing. It's like we bookies, right? We're bookies, and we're cooking the book, so we're only showing one side of the ledger. And then someone who knows what we're doing comes in and says, "Yeah, nah, look, homie, here's the other side. Oh, we fucked over now. We can't keep the wool over your face now because you know that there's two sides and that they must equal out. They must. So you have an artificial person or personality, right? You have two personalities. You're neither of them. You have both of them. You dig? Does that make sense so far?
Okay, we have both, but I'm neither. We have both, but I am
Right.
neither.
You're not a person. You have a personality. Like I have two hands. I'm not my hands. I have two of them.
Okay.
I'm not it. That which I truly am, it's inside. But the inside owns what's outside. And I have two hands. So I have two personas or two personalities or two roles in the play. Because we're all actors, right? This act, that act, we're acting. You know what I'm saying? So you have two parts in the play. There's always two parts in a movie. You have the lead, right? Everyone who actually has something to say, they have the script, right? And then you got the people in the back that are just filling.
Okay.
All right, so we have to realize that we are the controllers of both personalities. If you don't know that you have to, then someone else is going to tell you what your personality is because you're missing the damn, there was a word right there. You're not anyway. You don't recognize that you have authority as this other person. I think yesterday, it might have been yesterday, I used the Batman. Let me put it on the board for you, right? To try to hopefully draw out this comprehension. That's the word I was looking for too. All right, so in the movie Batman, we're going to use Michael Keaton, right? Because that was my favorite Batman. All right, so Michael Keaton, that's the inner self. All right. Then you have Bruce Wayne. That would be the straw man, right? Or this is one of the roles that's played, right? But then you have Batman. Now, is Batman Michael Keaton? No. Is Bruce Wayne Michael Keaton? No. But Bruce Wayne and Batman are the same, and Michael Keaton plays both.
But they all the same. It's all the same person.
No, they're not. Batman is a character. It's not real.
Okay. All right. Okay.
This is a personality. Bruce Wayne is a personality. Michael Keaton has to have both personalities to play his role.
Okay.
All right, we got it now?
Okay.
Right.
My last question.
Make it a little more sense. Go ahead.
It does. Do you teach this stuff?
Yeah,
Do you
I'm
have
teaching
any
it now,
books?
brother.
I know. I appreciate that. Do you have any books you can recommend that I can purchase from you? I mean, whatever the case may be, because I love to read.
Yeah. I got you, brother. I got you. So, if you are to go onto my profile,
Okay.
it tells, and I'll write it on the board for those of you who would like to see it, and then you'll be able to see it. ANUFEIN.net. That's the website. And then on there, what I present so far, now mind you, right, this is from a Muslim's, well, I don't even want to say it that way. This is for any, no matter what religion you're dealing with. This is from an enlightened standpoint.
Okay.
So you'll be able to use all the concepts of religion when you understand it's all really about trust in the states, right? But this is information that was being pressed out in the 1920s, right?
Wow.
Right. And it was teaching, at the time, the so-called African Americans that they weren't blacks, Negroes, coloreds, because these names in law have ramifications implications that basically treat to exclusive or principal debtorship. And so he was teaching these universal principles to these people who he called Moorish Americans. He said your ancestors are North Africans and that they came over here in Americas, right, along with the Europeans and the Middle Easterns, all of these people being of Islamic heritage, and they established their estates here in the Americas prior to Columbus. And he's saying that you are children, you are the descendants of those people. And what I was explaining to the brother earlier about the white status, if you look at the white status on the race and ethnicity form and you pay attention, you'll see that it's all Muslim. Because it says a person belonging to any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. If you know real world history, all three of those places prior to 1492 were under Muslim rule.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the European.
Well, see, when we talk about Europeans, most people get this idea that we're just talking about pale skinned people. Did you know that the brother you in the basketball? Antetokounmpo? You know the brother Antetokounmpo?
Yes.
He's from Greece, bro. Where's Greece, bro?
I didn't know that.
Right. Most people don't.
I didn't know that. That's
so
interesting.
the understanding is that dark skin and pale skin and all the skin in between, that happens everywhere. That happens everywhere. And just because you're darker or lighter doesn't mean that you're different. In Islam, under the Islam just means creditor, right? In certain forms, it's just really saying, the creditor. As a Muslim or under Islam, everyone's equal. Everyone's equal. I don't care where you're from. Don't matter where you're from. Don't matter what you look like. If we all stand on this business, right, we all family here. So
Well, you
that's
know
the
what?
understanding. Right?
I appreciate you taking the time out to speak to me. I just have one last final. Tell me if this is cut me off and let me know that I shouldn't say this or okay. When you
Right, I
spoke
got
about
you.
the person, when you spoke about the personalities, the different persons in accounting and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what happened to me one day was that I don't know. I can't explain it to you, but I'm outside. I'm looking at my body on the bed, and I'm looking at my
So
body on
you've
the
had an
bed.
out of body experience.
Okay,
So your cells separated and your consciousness was able to observe the physical. Is that what you're saying to me?
right. So
Does that
who am
sound
I then?
right?
Yes, who am I
You
then?
are all right. You are the creator. You are the collective All right. Let me give it to you like this. We have the soul, the flesh, and the spirit. Okay. This is our Trinity, right? The soul, that's your mental capacity. That's your recorder. Okay. The flesh, that's your vessel. But the spirit, that's what animates it all. You are that. You are
Okay.
the life force. We call it God. We call it the creator. You know, whatever name you wish to, we call it source. That is truly yourself. And that source that is in you is in not only in me, it's in everything. It is experiencing itself individually, right? And let me give you a symbol. The greatest symbol for us to really make this understandable is the sun, right? Whatever, right? So the sun at its core is one thing. Hold on me. Right? But each one of these individual sun rays, the farther it gets away from the center, the more individualized it becomes. But it's still connected to the source.
Okay.
So every one of these sun rays is a human being, right? And this light is in the human being. And the human being, if you will, right, is supposed its sole purpose is to connect back to the consciousness to realize that all is one. The farther you get
So
away from the united center self, the farther from reality you get. That's taught, the farther you get from the source of light, the more in darkness you become, so it's the ignorance. So the knowledge of self is that all is really one experiencing itself individual. Not that each individual is by itself. In reality, in totality, all is one.
so basically, I am spirit, but I just don't know me.
Right. You are spirit. Absolutely. So we're going to use elements real quick, right? So I hear people talk about the sun, right? That's the light. That's the fire, right? And then we've got the water, right? When fire and water come together, it creates a mist, right? The mist
Okay.
or the mystic, the mist, that's the breath, bro. That's the animator. When they come together as one, they unite and it becomes the expression. You are the expression. The spirit is the expression. That's the true self. It's that which
So
resonates on the inside.
so will I ever know me?
Yes.
When?
So you've been here on this earth plane many times. All right, as we all have, because we are today who our ancestors were. Right? It's perpetual. Everyone's goal was to get back to source. All right, and there is no stopping it. So you are learning your lessons in the physical and on the soul plane, and at the end of it all, you will get back to the perfectedness, the oneness, the deification. That's the goal. Just like every seed that you plant in the ground raises up to the sun, right? And when it full opens out and the plant itself dies, the energy goes back to the source. So shall you. We will all reach deification or godhood or that consciousness of what is and what is not.
Okay,
There
I'm
is
going to
no
follow.
failure for the human soul.
I'm going to follow you because I like to be part of what you're doing because, you know.
No doubt, brother. Like I said, send me that. Extend yourself to me. I'll get up with you. And then like I try to engage people. Like I'm not out here trying to sell. You know what I mean? But if the
No,
people who
I
have
want
this,
that. I want that. Yes.
so the people who have this information, right? Then you'll be able to follow along with me, right? Then you'll be able to not have to just listen to me say it because you have it. You'll be able to. So this is what for $50 plus shipping and handling, right? You get these two, but I also throw in the Weiss concise trustee handbook, which teaches you how to deal with trusts in the common law.
Thank you. I appreciate
Because
that.
that's what we're dealing with, and so we're getting this Trinity, right? This is scripture, right? This is scripture. These are all of the constitutions, treaties, and certain other forms. They all apply. And then they
Okay.
all apply to trusts in the states.
I would like to apply for those effective immediately. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Most welcome, beloved. I appreciate you for coming up, man.
Respect.
All right. And if there's anyone else, please by all means come up. If not, we're going to go ahead and end this session so that I can get it back on the YouTube. The YouTube link also is in the bio. By all means, go ahead and check all of that out. Check all of that out because I teach this stuff. It pours out of me. I've done enough research. Let me show you. Oh, that's not how you do it. Hold on. I'm big on study. Real big on it. And wait a minute. And I only teach from that which I know. So I'm not telling you all that I know it all. I'm telling y'all that I know what I know. There's still things for me to listen to learn and to full open out. And that's why I'm looking for you yourself to be able to share with me, right? So that we can bring all of this together, right? And we can make all of this work. Peace and love. May your Friday be great, right? Thank God it's Friday. Don't harm yourself. Always come from love. Peace and love to you all. I'm not going to flip the screen, brother.